there, it's Elke.
And Jen, and welcome to another episode of the Jen and Elke Clarke Show. And today we're talking about work-life balance as an entrepreneur. And
Yes.
this is extremely, extremely important because you need to have a proper balance in your life as an entrepreneur. Sometimes being an entrepreneur can be extremely exciting because you can be your own boss and you get to make your own hours and you get to define what it means to be working. But then at the same point in time, you need to make sure that you put some boundaries and create a working and life balance because those hours working and being your own boss can actually somehow slide into working all the time and not having a shut off. And you might say at the beginning of, when you first start on Zazzle, when we're talking about Zazzle, because we are Zazzle designers and we work online. We've been on the e-commerce Zazzle space for over 13 years now.
Crazy, huh?
It's crazy.
But we know what we're talking about.
Yeah. And
we've had to balance that work and life.
Yeah. And so we've been on Zazzle for 13 years. And at the beginning, we were almost treated it as a hobby because we had other things. Elke was working in a corporate job. I was in school. And so it was sort of something we did on the side. But then as soon as it became our actual business and we treated it as a business when we were working full time, we had to put some things into place to make sure that there was that balance, because you need to make sure that you take care of yourself, because at the end of the day, you are your business's most important asset. And if you aren't balancing your work and your life together and making sure that you obviously implement the business side of things, but take care of your lifestyle side of things too, then your business won't function at 1,000% like you want it to. You have to have that balance to make sure that you are keeping yourself healthy and sane and positive, and making sure that your business is also functioning at the same point in time.
Exactly. And the mindset that we take when we start something that's so different from, like, let's say, corporate job or 9 to 5 or something like that, we think we have to give it our all in order to make it work, because we have no clue as to what it does take to make that shift and have a successful online entrepreneur business. And so the idea here is that we want to give you a message today and say, guess what? The way we think we're going to be successful is actually not true. You can balance the work and the life in a new business even, because it's actually essential. If you don't do it, you'll burn out. And if you don't have that habit instilled right from the beginning, then first of all, you're not going to believe that unless you work like 24/7, you're ever going to be successful. So if you work less, you're going to be feeling guilty. And the unfortunate part is that if you do spend, like Jen said, you get really excited, you start to work more, this is working, and you forget and lose track of other things in your life. And ironically, that's the reason you started the business in the first place, is so you could have a better lifestyle and have more time and more freedom to take care of yourself and not work so hard. And so we want to have you make that mindset shift that you can be successful in an online business without working only on your business. And you have to work on your life and yourself and your health and the people around you who are supporting you as well, so that you are a whole person and you're not just defined by work. And you're also not assuming that the only way you're going to be successful is by doing work constantly. And so that's really, really important. And if you don't hear anything else out of our message today, that's the key. So, but how do you do that? Because everyone's probably screaming, like their heads are like, ah, how is this possible? Well, it's true that we focus in on what needs to be done and we kind of give it our all, right? That's just who we are, because we like to succeed and we want to do the best we can. But if you literally set boundaries, and as hard as those are, like setting boundaries like, I'm not going to work past 5 o'clock, and that might not be feasible for you if you right away, like if you at this point in time have a 9 to 5 job, but maybe you'll set the hours saying, okay, after I have a nice dinner with my family or I have a nice dinner alone, whatever, then from 7 till 9, I'm going to work on my online business. If that's the case for you, awesome. Then you've worked strategically and set those boundaries, and those 2 hours are going to be way more productive than just having an open-ended all day long, I can get to it when I need to set structure anyway. And you'll probably do better than if you just had no plan or schedule or boundaries at all. The other thing that's really important is to put in systems in place and, and also to get training as to how to do it effectively and efficiently so that you're not wasting a lot of time. That's when you start to feel more comfortable, allowing you to do a business, work on becoming an entrepreneur, and also being able to not just sacrifice your entire life for that.
Mm-hmm.
So those are really important. There's obviously more to it, but the basic thing is that if you already have that mindset shift that it's possible, you're going to find ways to make it work for you without it being that you're up at from like 2 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the morning working on getting your new business started. It has to be aligned with your life, and it actually already has to reflect how you see your ideal dream life happening anyway, and work towards it, so that maybe the only thing missing is the money part. If you get into those habits already, that this is when I'm working, this is when I'm taking off, this is when I'm exercising, this is when I'm meditating, this is when I'm having family time or friend time, then that's going to be so huge, because you're going to be taking care of the number one asset that is running this company, and that's you.
Mm-hmm.
And so we really need to make sure you hear that message so you can take care of yourself and do the work and get that company soaring to new heights, because you are like so good at taking care of yourself that you can function and produce what you need to do in order to be successful as an online entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I kind of mix the 2 points together in terms of setting boundaries and putting systems in place. But we truly, really want you to work out your ideal lifestyle, the way it's going to look when you've got that business working at the level that it should be working, so that you make the money that you want to make and all of that stuff. Really map that out. What does that look like? And then reverse engineer that so that you can say, okay, in order for me to be living this lifestyle, this is what I need, and what do I need to get there? And then it'll be so much easier for you to understand that it's truly possible, because now you've got things in place to help you get there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to add anything else?
No, I think that's
Oh,
good.
okay.
Go
I
ahead.
just did such a good job.
Yeah, well, no, I think that, well, just also making sure that you understand that it is extremely important, because if you don't decide at the beginning, then as I mentioned before, it can kind of just slip and slide and
Yeah,
you don't really have a grasp or a hold on it. And at the end of the day, you really need to have that balance, because you want to love what you're doing. And I think that if you don't have that balance and it's either all life or all work, either way, you're going to start to really resent your business because you don't have that balance and that structure, right? And
yeah,
we don't want that. We want you to have a business that you love and enjoy doing, because that's the whole point of making, creating this business and working online and being your own boss, and having the freedom and the capabilities of the possibilities of what working online gives you. And you want to make sure that that's always really, really balanced and structured well within your lifestyle.
yeah. And for me, because I'm more like the straight-lined, logical person, I keep thinking that I need to make sure that everything is in place in order to get that success. And I define getting things into place by just working on the work. And that's not true. It's actually very bad in terms of how you think about it and how I thought about it when I first started, because you burn out. And so it's really important to give yourself that time off, give yourself things that can help you rejuvenate, because it's just going to help you work more effectively anyway. And you can be successful while balancing that work and life. You don't have to just have work in order to see success. And that's really the thing that was huge for me. As soon as I started to have this work-life balance, as much as I put things into place, like I said, systems and structures and boundaries, that's when I saw everything come together and things start to snowball in terms of my earnings, which is always what I was looking for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching this episode of the Jen and Elke Clarke Show. And we will see you next week with another one.
See you later.
Bye.